I'm Nancy Nachman, and I'm the meetings concierge. And I don't think there's anybody pickier than me when it comes to finding what I call the perfect meeting room. So, what is a perfect meeting room? When a hotel tells you that they have availability for your meeting space, you want to find out which meeting rooms they're talking about offering you. And go on the hotel's website and look at the capacity charts and make sure that the room that they're offering you is actually comfortable enough for you and your guests. What you want to look at is the square footage of the meeting room, and you want to look to see, perhaps under the classroom style seating, if that's how you're going to seat your guests, how many guests, what is the maximum capacity that that particular room can hold for you. But I think the more important thing to look at is the actual length and width of that meeting room. The ideal meeting room for me is a square shaped room. You don't want a rectangularly shaped room because when your guests are seated, your guests will have a hard time hearing and seeing each other if it's in a long, narrow, rectangularly shaped room. So when you look at a meeting capacity seating chart and you look at a particular meeting room, pay attention to the actual length and width of that meeting room and try and find a square shaped room that works for you perfectly. The other thing that I love to find in a hotel for my clients is four solid walls. So you're not sharing a wall with any other meeting room. Of course, that keeps the noise factor down and keeps your meeting rather private. Another thing that you want to think about is sometimes having windows is very, very nice because you have the natural daylight coming in, but always ask the hotel, what is the view out of those windows? Because you want to make sure that it's nothing that would be distracting or unattractive to you and your guests, and make sure that it's a really beautiful view out of the windows. The other thing that I always ask and make sure to avoid are columns and pillars. You don't want columns and pillars in your meeting space. It really is very difficult then for your guests to see the screen or see the speaker perfectly. And the truth of the matter is, hotel sales managers will not give you all of this information unless you ask. So it's really up to you or us, if you give us the pleasure of booking the meeting for you, to make sure that we ask all these questions and that you have what we call the perfect meeting room. The other thing you want to pay close attention to is the ceiling height in a meeting room. Oftentimes you will see on a capacity chart maybe a 7 or an 8 foot ceiling, and that really is not optimal for your audio visual. So make sure that you have a minimum of 10, 11, 12 or higher feet on the ceiling height. That's really ideal to having a comfortable and perfect meeting room. You want to ask your hotel sales manager also who is booked into the meeting space that's right close to you, because you, first of all, don't ever want your competition meeting close by you, and you don't want to be lost in the crowd either. So for instance, if you have 50 guests, you don't want to be next to a meeting room that has 2 or 3 or 400 people, because you will hear the noise, you will get distracted by people when you go in and out for your breaks. And so ideally you want to always try and keep your main meeting room, your breakout meeting space, and your banquet space contained in one close proximity to one another. You also want to ask the hotel when you're asking about other people meeting in that particular area at the same time that you'll be there, where are the other customers' breaks going to be set up? Because you don't want to be surrounded again by the noise of food and beverage being set up or the distraction of other guests right outside of your meeting room. This is what I do for you. One of the things that I do for you is I make sure that I lead you to what I call a perfect meeting room, and there's nobody pickier than me. So please give me the pleasure of taking care of this for you. This is one of the things I'll do to make sure that when you and your guests and your executives arrive on site, that everything is as perfect as possible. I'm Nancy Nachman, and I'm the meetings concierge, and I would love to help you. Thank you.